Oh, okay. Looks like we're good now. Awesome. What's up, everybody? Excited to be here. I am here with Carlos, and we are live streaming this because for some reason, whenever I click record, my recorder just crashes at the moment. But it can stream. What's up, Carlos?
What's up? Finally glad to get you on the call.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've rescheduled a lot recently because I'm not used to the concept of having to book my own time and having other people book my time. So I'm starting to get used to it. But I spend a lot of time like traveling from one city to like 4 or 5 hours away to another city, and I have to remember to book my time that I'm going to be traveling because I can't do the calls on that same time, right? Anyway, man. So tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm actually from the Dominican Republic. I was raised in New York City, Brooklyn. I currently live in West Hartford, Connecticut.
You've been around
Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah, no, not really. This is the course of my life. I'm 33 years old, so.
A lot of people have never left the state that they live in. Like more people than not. Isn't that scary?
It is. It's a big world out there.
Yeah, huge world. So you were born in the Dominican Republic?
Yes.
And how old were you when you came to the States?
4 years old.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know more about this country than out there, but I love it here. I love it out there too, but you know, it depends.
What's the situation like? I don't know anything about the Dominican Republic.
Well, you know, I've seen a few of your videos. I'm pretty sure it's probably like the place you were at. What was it, Nicaragua?
Yeah, Nicaragua.
Yeah, it's a third world country. It's a beautiful place. I mean, you probably could live for nothing out there. I think rent is probably like maybe $200-300 a month. Something nice.
Yeah.
Just the whole government structure. It's the same. No, I wouldn't say the same. It's probably more corrupted out there. Don't quote me for it though. No, it's a beautiful place to visit. I recommend it.
Yeah, I'll check it out at some point. I'm going back to Nicaragua in January.
Nice. Yeah, I always wanted to go out there and see how it is.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty cool.
Beautiful for sure. So you came back to the States when you were 4, and you said you're 33 now. Is that right?
Yes.
Nice. So we got like 26 years to cover. Or no,
oh, yeah.
I can do math. 29 years to cover.
Oh yeah. So basically, what I do now is I own a small logistics company, a delivery company. I've been in the delivery industry probably since I would say since I was 21, 22, on and off. Have had a couple of businesses. I mean, you probably heard, you fail. Any businessman will fail more times than they succeed. I'm not doing bad. I'm doing pretty good now. But I did have a lot of failures. And, you know, I always like to dabble in different things, and eBay, drop shipping, not just eBay, you know, I do FBA with Amazon as well. Mm-hmm. But eBay seems to be kind of like more, kind of like, I would say, less restricted than Amazon is.
Yeah,
kind of like true. More open games, you know. So that's a pretty good thing. Pretty cool to, you know, kind of have something that's really structured and something that's still structured. I'm not saying it's not structured. It's just, you know, I don't know how to word it properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, once my business got established, and I pretty much had a lot of free time because you know, I have I have a whole setup. So I have my managers, supervisors, so on and so forth. So I find myself with a lot of free time. So I started taking courses, which I haven't took yours yet. So I purchased some courses, kind of invested in myself, some knowledge into myself. I did some YouTube, watch your YouTube videos, watch some other people's YouTube videos on the Amazon side, and just kind of trying to absorb all this information being thrown out there, because I know you kind of have to just filter what's good and what's not going to be good, which is difficult to do.
Yeah, very difficult.
Exactly. So I find it very difficult because I there's affiliate marketing and stuff like that. There's people that I know you make it clear that you're affiliated with some of these things, but you have the competition right on your same page. So
yeah,
you're
true.
a little more you're a little more transparent. You seem a little more like
I'm loosely affiliated.
Exactly, but you're kind of like more. You don't seem like the sketchy salesman kind of.
Yeah.
Some people they just want that sale.
And there's a lot of that, and you're definitely right that you have to learn to. You kind of almost have to learn to identify that vibe where somebody is trying to establish urgency to get you to make a purchase now while you're emotional, and you just have to learn to just anytime you feel that vibe, you just go the other way. Because that's kind of my philosophy. Like, of course, I benefit when people buy my course or products that I'm interested in, but I don't want to convince anybody that they should buy my stuff. I want them to learn and then want it and then buy it. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind or any of that. It's there, and if they interact with it, great. And that's kind of how I wish more other people were. But unfortunately, you're right. A lot of people are really pushing to get you to purchase courses and products, and sometimes it's really expensive, and a lot of times the information's available online for free or way cheaper. So
yep.
What courses have you looked into? Like, what subjects?
I purchased the Amazon course. I think it was, what's his name? Tanner was his name. Amazon Mastery. It's a pretty good course.
What makes a good course to you versus a bad course?
Just the information that's put out there. Sometimes I've taken a course. I'll give you an example. I took a course sometime last year when I started with eBay. It was an eBay course. I actually spoke to somebody kind of like you over Skype and stuff like that, and the course was pretty cheap. It wasn't too bad. I think it was like $50 or $100. She seemed like a really nice lady. She was showing me her she showed me her sales and stuff, which is like, I think it was like $60,000 for the year, which seems like a lot, but it really isn't. I learned that. Yeah, it's all a learning curve,
Yeah, yeah.
I learned that quickly. Numbers do lie.
Yeah. People will try and convince. That's why I try and not use them too much, because, you could be having 60K in sales and earn nothing. You could have 3K in sales and earn like $2,000 of it.
Yeah. So I purchased the course, and the course seems to have been outdated. So the course is called Drop Ship Mugle. I don't know if you ever heard of that. You ever heard of what's this guy's name? Shirt and tie guy. I don't even know his name. Why it was like a brief experience.
Like tie.
Yeah. Whatever his name is, I'm not sure. But I guess he kind of utilizes network marketing a lot, you can say.
Yeah.
And he has kind of like a team built around him. Like he creates these courses or
oh, you mean Ty Lopez?
No, not Ty Lopez.
Okay.
No.
He does that, but on a huge scale.
Yeah, he does it on a huge scale. This guy from Atlanta. He's obviously probably not that big. I can't even remember him. To be honest, I would have to like do some research on it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the point is, I still have the course, and the course was outdated. It had it offered some some eBay and PayPal kind of like eBay PayPal calculator to make sure that you're always in profit or whatnot, or see how much you're making out of it.
Yeah.
And it was just, you know, I was taking this course, and then when I used some of the stuff he was talking about, I thought it was back from 2012. Give me a second, I got my daughter in the background.
No worries, it's fine.
I got my nose.
The nose?
I go like that.
Give me 1 second. Come over.
Drop shippers with kids usually do really well for what it's worth.
Really? That's good to know.
Parents tend to take things more ambitiously. They got people to provide for, so if they get into it, they tend to get into it more seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm pretty serious about what I do. I mean, I've been kind of contacting you almost every day. So, yeah. I get a good vibe from you for some reason.
I'm glad, thank you.
Know. You want the tablet?
Just gonna grab some water.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. He just woke up. She's really curious. Really curious.
That's good.
Yeah. So I took the course, and I noticed that probably while I was studying the course, I noticed, well, it seemed outdated just when I started noticing like dates and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't really get discouraged, but I kind of knew like, all right, it's gonna be a little bit of an uphill battle.
Yeah.
So I was running 2 businesses at that time, sometime last year. So I kind of said, all right, well, you know, I'm pretty optimistic. So I said, I'm just going to keep going forward and, you know, do what I could and learn from there. So this was probably sometime around August or September. So I started posting probably some expensive products like TVs.
Uh-huh.
TV stuff that were pretty expensive, and you know, believe me or not, I did really well, like for the time that I did it. Mm-hmm. So I sold everything quickly. It was a little expensive because it was TV, so I was probably purchasing it for like $2,000 and selling it for like 28.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as much sales, but it was everything I did put up.
Yeah, so, that's cool.
So actually where I was sourcing it from was a company that I think they were going bankrupt at the time or something. So they shipped one of the customers in New Jersey. I remember this, the wrong TV. Customer contacted me and said, he opened up a case with eBay, obviously. He said the wrong TV was shipped. eBay at that time, I think, had them upload the pictures and stuff like that so I could look at it. I saw the pictures. I saw it was the wrong TV. So all I did was, I was kind of like a middleman. So I forwarded it over to the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you talk.
Yeah, go where we go. So then they gave me the runaround for like 2 or 3 days. And then they sent out the TV to the guy. The guy got the TV. I asked him for a return because they said we were supposed to exchange, and I asked him for a return label for the incorrect TV. They never responded. So I pretty much got like a free TV, and not a free TV because I ended up selling it to the same guy.
Yeah.
Because I guess he used the TV, and he was asking me, well, I use the TV and I kind of like it. How much do you think you can give it to me for? So it's something I didn't pay. I didn't pay anything for it.
Yeah, that worked out in your favor.
Yeah, so I think I gave it to him probably for I think it was like a $1,200. It was like almost 50% of what it's worth. And I kind of just worded it like for the inconvenience,
Yeah.
Get, 50% discount, blah blah blah.
Win-win, man.
Yeah, it was really good, and then I did so well, and then I just stopped doing eBay. I didn't have any. That was the only issue, and it ended up working in my favor. And I just kind of stopped. I think it was because October hit, or I was ending towards September, and with the delivery business I have, it's considered peak season. It's considered peak season for you guys as well, because I'm pretty sure that's where you get most of your sales. Because I'm kind of like I'm a service provider for companies kind of like Amazon, Walmart,
last mile delivery.
Chewy.com. Yeah, last mile delivery. Pretty much. Chewy.com. I got a bunch of those. So I'm pretty sure I touch a lot of drop shippers. Well, not physically touch, but it goes through.
Yeah. You deliver a lot of drop shipped products.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think about that a lot too. I'm like, as the thing is coming through the bed, I wonder if this product was drop shipped. Because there's a lot of deliveries daily, and I'm just kind of like in the Hartford County area, and now I'm in Massachusetts as well. So
it sounds like you've got. So you were posting really expensive items. That means you have the cash flow for that. Did you?
Yeah, I have capital.
That's really useful.
I do have capital, and I do see you use Kabbage, right? Kabbage is one of your affiliate things.
I love Kabbage.
So I used Kabbage probably maybe a few years ago, probably. I still have them, but I really don't use them anymore.
It's expensive.
They're pretty
cool.
Cool. Yeah, if you have it on as your personal or as a business under your business account. Yeah, I know I'm getting probably business. Yeah. When it's a business, it's more high risk, so they'll probably the interest rate's probably not that good.
Yeah, I pay like $120 for every $2,000 that I withdraw, something like that. But that was after getting used to PayPal working capital, which is free. It's not completely free, but you pay like $20 for every $1,000. It's insane. It's really, really cheap.
Yeah, that's 2%. That's pretty cheap. Yeah, 10% is pretty. That's pretty typical for. That's a line of credit, right?
Yeah. Well, it says that it's not, but there's I can withdraw up to $10,000. Every time I withdraw, I have to pay on interest. But as long as I haven't withdrawn everything, then
you always have that $10,000 though.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a line of credit.
Yeah.
They can word it however they want. That's a line of credit. Yeah. So I have a line of credit, but that's pretty typical. And I'm glad Kabbage is out there, because it did help me at that time. Obviously, I moved on from them. I don't really close accounts, but I still have them there. You never know, right? But yeah, I do have a lot of working capital, and I do engage in other businesses, and I like to interact with people like yourself, people who are you seem pretty positive, you know. You're not saying that it's just who you are, you know.
Yeah.
You seem, you know, I always like stories as well. Like, you know, you seem like you have a story behind you, you know, and that makes people usually who have a story and have probably a rough upcoming tend to take their stuff more serious, you know. Even if you're, you know, let's say for example, I've seen some of your videos you mentioned maybe you're not as organized or you know, or whatever. You know, you are organized, you know. It might be a chaotic organization, but you know, it's you know, something my friend used to always tell me. My friend, he's kind of like that, where, you know, he was like, well, I'm the most organized chaos you'll ever see. And it's true. It is possible, you know. So
yeah,
keep doing what you're doing.
I
You're
appreciate
doing
that. So I'm trying to understand why you stopped doing the drop shipping thing. It was going well, and you had an advantage that over a lot of people because you have cash flow. So you can do these transactions that are like, you know, you're earning $40-50 profit at least on $1,000 sale. You sometimes up to like $200, right? So that's a huge advantage because most people can't do that. Like they just can't until they've established their account. But so obviously you're trying to get back into dropshipping now, but what are you trying to do? Because it sounds like things were going well and you stopped before. So what, you get what I'm going at? Like, why are you interested in getting back into it? What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, when I did stop, it was because other businesses kind of
took over,
stole my attention. Yeah, so
gotcha.
It's kind of like it's not like I wanted to. I was so busy, I just forgot.
And you have more time now.
I have a lot more time. So
okay.
I've gotten a lot more organized and stuff. So I started posting stuff, and again, and this time around, I just want to be probably more organized. You spoke about VAs and stuff like that. I've done business for over a decade already, so I kind of want to do stuff the right way. I'm trying to, and I know it's not completely unavoidable, trying to avoid a lot of pitfalls. I know it's going to happen, but you know, I don't know if you know where I'm going with this.
No,
so,
yeah, you're in a really good position, dude. You have business experience, you have cash flow. Like, I would encourage you to just focus on, like, from my perspective, it doesn't make any sense for you yourself to list items. You have experience doing this. Maybe just refresh yourself a little bit. But what I would encourage you to do is get a virtual assistant. Start working that team. That is going to be, because even if you don't do the drop shipping stuff too much, the VAs, do you use virtual assistants in your other businesses in any way?
I used to use it in a call center. I used to, but not at the time. No, I don't think it's really any use for me right now. As far as what I do.
Yeah, that's for a lot of people. That's kind of a big turning point in their life. It's mostly the kind of mental transition of getting used to the fact that you can just delegate tasks to people. Like I knew of VAs before, but now that I have one, I get WhatsApp messages, and I can just, like, it's no matter where I am in the world, I can just be like, hey, could you check this or work on this? Or, you know, it's insane the opportunities that having a relationship with virtual assistants, it just opens up so many doors. And for an individual like yourself, if you have cash flow in particular, then, like, you could... I think you're in a really, really good position, definitely. Especially you seem to understand that, like, a lot of drop shippers, they are rushing way, way too much, and they can only see the next couple weeks. They don't understand, like, how to change things like a year from
Yeah.
now, and how to anticipate all of the emotional things that you're going to go through, and understand that some things have an emotional consequence that will make you stop. So it doesn't matter if you earned like $100 doing that. If it made you stop, like, you know, in the long run, it just stops, right?
Yep. You know, it's crazy. You know, as far as how we can reach out to anybody in the world nowadays, right? It's just a great time to be living.
Yeah, heck yeah, it's
really
amazing.
You know, a lot of people, you know, like to complain about money and stuff like that. You know, and it just, we have so much resources now. It's like you just have to put yourself out there. It's just amazing. It's a great time to be living.
Yeah, yeah. If you have access to the internet, then no matter where you are in the world, you can completely and utterly change everything about your life if you're willing to. And if you're willing to, like, I think the difference between kind of successful people and unsuccessful people is that unsuccessful people will ask somebody who knows a question, and then when that person doesn't respond, the person just waits and waits and waits for that other person to tell them what to do. When a successful person asks the same question, doesn't get a response, and is like, well, I'm going to go ask someone else. I'm going to do some research. They figure it out anyway, you know? And that trait is really, really important. That willingness to educate yourself, not just to wait for others to educate you.
Absolutely. And investing in yourself is very important as well. So, you know, I just met you, but, you know, anybody who's watching this, he has a course, you know, it's probably the cheapest course I've seen, $20. If it's something you want to take serious, you should do it, you know. It's the cheapest investment I've seen, you know. I'm going to do it. I'm just, you know, I work on a few things, so I kind of plan out, you know, kind of the stages of when I'm going to do what,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I get the impression if you say that you're going to do something next week, it probably actually means that, whereas a lot of people are like, you know, I'll do it later. But really they're saying, I don't want to do it, but I don't want to admit to myself that I'm not going to do it, you know?
Yep. Oh, yeah. So I actually got on one of your live calls. I believe it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And you spoke about some of the tools, which is what I'm more interested in. You know, virtual assistants, if you can trying to remember what website I used for virtual assistants before. But if you can recommend me to any, that'd be awesome. But just some of the tools, you know, because I you know, when I am going to, that's the direction I do want to take, is use a virtual assistant. But at the same time, I do want to learn the system as well, as far as what tools you know. Well, it's important to know.
You learn to use the tool, and then you train the VAs to use the tool that you just learned, ideally.
Exactly. And you mentioned, you know, three of them, which was AutoDS, CSM, and Hustle.rio.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all right, which I wrote it down. I did have it here, which I do right now. Let me see here.
Nice.
Yeah. And as we speak, I write notes. So sometimes you might see me turn my head down and stuff. I'm just writing notes.
Cool.
Whatever, some stuff you're telling me. Because I do a lot of things I forget.
Yeah.
I'm a forgetful person.
And the act of writing something helps trigger it. It makes it stronger in your head, you know?
Right. So these tools, these are the 3 tools you recommend, right?
Yeah, at the moment, and understand that there's a lot of different tools available. The other tool that I don't know too much about, but I know will be good, is Viking, by the people who did Hydra Lister. So the reason I know that it's good is just because the person behind the tool is very, very, very educated about the industry of dropshipping and what other tools offer, and has a lot of integrity. So that is unusual. So
I got somebody knocking on the door. Give me 1 second.
No worries. Hello.
Yeah, that's my godson. Sorry about that.
So,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. So I'm curious, are you gonna try and do what you used to do, where you're posting really expensive items? What kind of what are your thoughts about how you're gonna go about getting back into it? Or are you just trying to learn about the tool first?
Honestly, I'm trying to just learn about the tools first. I've been posting. I think I've been posting cheap items. I don't think I went with any of the electronics or the big stuff yet. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty much just absorbing and learning right now. I could just blindly start purchasing bigger and more expensive items, because I've noticed it's probably a smaller market for it.
Yeah, that's all the money kind of lies in the bigger purchases. It's complicated because when it comes to things that can take you out, bigger purchases have way more of those scenarios that can just end you. But at the same time, it's where most of the money lies. So it's like, as a beginner without experience, it's not wise to post expensive items, because you have to be able to handle, say you have a $1,400 item and then there's a return opened, instantly all that money goes on hold. You know, you have to be able to deal with that and still be able to source other orders and all that kind of stuff, right? So as a pure beginner, posting expensive items isn't a good idea. But that being said, if you know what you're doing and you have the cash flow, it's absolutely more profitable. It's not just because of that it's scary and cash flow problems. It's also like, most people who post on eBay are limited by their eBay accounts. They cannot post $1,000 items because they could post $1,000 items, and it's more likely they're going to be able to get one of those to sell. So it's not incentivizing for people with account limits to post like really expensive items, right?
Right.
So naturally that means that there's just less competition with these really expensive items, because so few people are actually able to do them, right? Most people have smaller kind of, it's easier to get the sales for the smaller items. But so the tricky thing here is, depending on what you're trying to do, the best tool for you changes. So like, okay, in my head, what I'm currently using AutoDS for is these expensive items. And that's just because AutoDS is a little bit more expensive. The repricer, I think, is less glitchy than like SKUgrid or DSM. And just one or two of the sales of expensive items covers for the program's cost, right? But that being said, if you're just trying to learn and post cheaper items, then I would use like DSM Tool or maybe Hustle Got Real. I personally don't have any active experience with Hustle Got Real. I've just heard good things from people that I trust.
Okay. And actually, I was just looking through my sales, and I did sell some patio furniture, which reminds me, this patio furniture was the first thing I listed. Probably sometime in July when I got back into it, and I think I sold it on the second day. Okay, I think I sold it on my second day. They had it on eBay eBay. They had it on Amazon on sale for like $329.99. I think I sold it for like $500.
Nice.
Which that really kind of, you know, I've been pretty lucky. I don't know. I think it's a sign. I've been pretty lucky every time I've kind of posted something. I noticed though that when I do post cheaper items, I haven't had so much success. I think I sold like recently like a gas cooking grill from, I think I sourced it from Walmart. I've tried different titles and stuff like that to see if it helps out. And then, you know, my wife, she does a lot of like retail arbitrage. So when Toys R Us was shutting down, she went to Toys R Us and got stuff for like 70-80% off. So I would that's more manual work. I really don't want to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I do it, you know, just keep the wife happy. Yeah. yeah, but all this stuff has been manually posted, manually posted. So I'm kind of like trying to learn these different, and then again, that's another hurdle. Well, what exactly am I going to be doing? So what exactly is the right software for me to use where I'm not sitting here posting one item for 10, 15 minutes,
So pretty much any software is going to, like, now the way it works is that most dropshipping software has gone the direction of like all-in-one suites. So you have a lister, a repricer, and then some way to do product research, whether that's like sniping or like actually just researching market trends and that kind of thing. But almost no matter what tool you pick, it's gonna make it easier to do that kind of stuff. But it sounds like I think it sounds like AutoDS is probably a good option for you. Just because of the experience that you have, you're able to post more expensive items. So AutoDS is a little bit more pricey, but in my opinion, it's more reliable than DSM tool. And it also has the ability to, like, you can log into AutoDS and respond to messages, deal with cases. You don't have to do anything on eBay itself. If that makes sense, which makes it a different, because most of the time you still need to do the messaging and customer service on eBay. So anytime that you can just log into the tool, it's only one place you need to go. That might be worth looking into for sure. I'm trying to think. I don't know if they have like a free trial or something. They just changed their pricing. I need to talk to Lior and figure out. But that's another thing about AutoDS, and also with DSM tool, to be honest. These people are willing to, like, do an interview with me where I talk to them about their life and they answer questions. They're very transparent. And for me, that's very comforting to know that the individuals behind the software are willing to show their faces and talk about their lives. I think that is usually a good indication that the software is more reliable. Whereas there are other software where, like, the person has no interest in showing their face, and that's like, okay, why? Like, what are you hiding? Like,
Yeah. I did have a question about you. I peruse a lot through eBay and, their tools and stuff they have to offer, stuff like that. And I did see an option where, they said you can sell stuff in lots.
Uh-huh.
Right. Is lots referred to, like, if I have 5 of these items, those 5 items will be considered one lot? You that have more experience than me.
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I've seen that option available when I've been, like, listing things physically, and that's when I had more experience with it. Because there's, like, a checkbox somewhere where you can click, like, sell as lot or, like, sell as bundle or something. My understanding, this may be wrong, is that for items that are marked as sell as lot or sell as bundle, then the person can purchase them as if they're the same item. I don't really know how to explain it. It has something to do with shipping costs, but we can look it up real quick. So, purchase lots. Here we go. Sell as lots on eBay. Okay. I'm trying to understand how selling as a lot differs from having an increased quantity available in the first place. Like all my items, for example, you can buy 10 of them at once, right? Because the default quantity is set to 10. So it looks like lots are a way for people to say that you have a lot and it's 10 items, but the quantity is 1. The person can like request to only buy 5 of them, even though it's kind of confusing. It seems to be an alternative to the quantity system.
Okay.
Huh. So what did you have in mind? Were you curious about like the wording of that, or?
No, just in particular what it is, if it's lots, like, you know, like if one lot is 10 products, instead of selling products individually,
Yeah.
only selling a lot. It's just interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a viable strategy. That's something you can, like, it's all about understanding what more people are doing and what less people are doing. So most people are going to avoid variations and they're not going to sell bundled items. So on one hand, you're making a trade because if you bundle items together into one listing, then the demand for both of those 2 items is much less than the demand for each of those items individually. However, there's way less competition. So like it's definitely worth trying and looking into, simply because it's not something that most people do, which would be a good indication that it's something that can be done profitably if you figure out how to do it, you know. And maybe it doesn't work at the very beginning, but you keep going, you keep trying, and make it work that way.
Okay. I had another question for you. And this is a scenario I ran into probably like 2 weeks ago. I had a customer buy something they were from Puerto Rico, needed to be shipped to Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. And I kind of looked through it. I tried to look through it. There's no way of excluding Puerto Rico from available to ship to kind of.
Yeah, you should be able to. I haven't looked at the settings in a while. So you're saying that does this have anything to do with GSP, or are you talking about just like regular sale to Puerto Rico?
Just regular sales to Puerto Rico. I had because I know as of right now, certain stuff is in the room. Go over there, look. I know certain stuff out of Amazon, when you source out of Amazon, won't ship to Puerto Rico.
Uh-huh.
So I just ran into this scenario and I was like, I wrote it down, but I'm gonna ask him about that. I couldn't ship it from Amazon, so I started looking for it elsewhere. And most places didn't ship it. I did find it in Walmart, but and Walmart does ship to Puerto Rico to what's it called, a hub or something. But it wasn't available in the color he wanted, so I was able to dodge that bullet. But I just wanted to know for future reference,
so you can
to be aware of.
I'm finding it in the account right now because I never get Puerto Rican sales, which means that I've disabled them, because otherwise it's something that I would have come across recently, right? So I need to go to my business policies. Here we go. And then if we go to payment, shipping, maybe it would be the shipping policy. Here we go. Okay, so if you go into your shipping policy, then in the very bottom, there is an option that says exclude shipping locations, and then you can click edit exclusion list. And from there, you can disable Alaska, Hawaii, U.S. protectorates, which would be Puerto Rico, and APO, FPO. I don't know what APO, FPO is.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. I'll do that once I'm off the call. So I'm not going crazy looking for it.
I can tell you exactly how to get there if you want. It's no problem.
Sure. I mean, that'll be it.
Just tell me when you're on eBay.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, so you need to click on your account or My eBay and then click on Summary. I don't know if you've opted into Seller Hub. So once you click, like, in the top right, you can go to My eBay and then click Summary. Tell me what the screen looks like.
I see My eBay summary, name, activity, messages,
okay.
Account.
Click on account.
Okay. Okay, I see credits, payments, balance due.
There should be, in the left under My Account, there should be something that says Business Policies. Above Seller Dashboard and under Manage Communications with Buyers. It's possible it's not there, in which case we need to opt into it. I can show you how to do that.
I don't think it's here. You said above Seller's Dashboard?
Yeah, it's like in the same column of links that ends in Resolution Center and starts with business information. However, that link, it's common for that link to not be there, and then you need to opt into it so that you can see it. Let me find the link for you. Here we go. Okay, so if you go to this link, let me find the chat real quick. Where's the chat? There it is. You should be able to go to that link and then opt in, and then the link will show up.
Okay, I'm at a screen now. It says, yeah, preview business policies and tell us what you think. What are business policies? Payment policies, shipping policies, return policies.
So did it...
Try now? Only gives me the option to try now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm under business policies now, and kind of looks like you were saying what you were saying, but it looks a little different now. I see My Account, left-hand side, manage your business policy. Welcome to business policy.
Good. You're on the right page then. So, can you see, if you look in the far right, is there a shipping policy that, like, do you see under the listings column, does it show zeros or numbers?
You said under the listings column?
Yeah, which is the far right column.
I see numbers.
Okay, so you want to go to the one that has, well, it should be all of your currently posted listings. And there should be a return policy, a payment policy, and a shipping policy.
Return.
What you need to do is identify the shipping policy that is applied to most of your listings.
Okay.
And then click Edit.
Returns accepted. Yeah, I know which one it is because I have it as most of them. Unless I'm shipping them myself, I have it as seller.
Yeah, so for this, there's 3 different policies within your business policies. There's return policies, payment policies, and shipping policies. So you want to identify the shipping policy that is applied to most of your listings, and then click Edit.
Okay, click Edit.
And then in the very bottom, you can see something that says exclude shipping locations.
Unless it doesn't have it. International.
The bottom option is just international shipping?
Yeah. It's weird.
Huh. Interesting. Well,
maybe we can do something where you can, I kind of let you go through my stuff and you can see.
Yeah, the screenshot
you have
thing.
some time sometimes. Yeah, because you probably would do a lot better than me navigating through it. You've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I'm used to things.
Yeah. So I'll put a note on that, and I'll probably just shoot you a text or something
Okay.
when you have some
Cool.
time.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I did have another question.
Okay.
Right now, I currently don't have a business account. I haven't set up a store pretty much because I haven't opened up a LLC yet because it's all in the works. Because I don't want to do this under my name either. If I were to get the LLC and do this, under the business name, can it be under this account, or I would be starting from scratch?
No, you can do that. You can just register it as business account. It doesn't really when it comes to eBay accounts, I bought a Stealth eBay account and switched it out of Stealth into my friend's identity. You can do stuff pretty willy-nilly. It doesn't really matter unless you get banned and then things are linked. Then you might have some problems. Say that you use your own identity for this eBay account and then you convert it to your business's identity, but then you get in trouble with eBay under your name. There's a link between your business identity and your identity because the business account used to be in your identity. So it's possible that the account can get shut down just because of the existence of that link if you do something to cause that to happen. But ultimately, you normally don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Okay. And are there some benefits of creating a store and converting it into a business account? Or are there more fees behind it?
So it depends. What do you mean by? Because the business versus PayPal, are you talking, or business versus personal? Are you talking about on PayPal or on eBay?
On eBay, as far as the eBay store, I don't have a store. I sell stuff, but I don't have a store.
A store just decreases the amount that you pay to post items. That's the main purpose of it. So how many items do you have?
I don't think I have much. Maybe 100.
Okay. Yeah, so you could definitely, you're at a point where if you're paying insertion fees on some of those, unless eBay's giving you a free 50 listings or free 100 listings a month.
I got the promo thing going on right now.
How many free listings is it for?
I believe it's 50.
Okay.
It's about to expire, so that's why I'm curious as well.
Yeah, so at 100, I think that puts you just kind of have to do the math for it because each store is a tier above the previous store, right? And so I might be a tiny bit out of date with this because they added new stores, and I don't know about the smallest store. But the way it used to work is that if you wanted to post an item to eBay, you had to pay 30 cents to list the item. So say you have 100 items, right? That would cost what, like $3?
$30.
Is that right? $30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, 10 items would be $3. It'd be $30. So at that point, you're paying $30 to eBay. So it might make more sense to just pay for the $25 a month plan that makes all listings 15 cents each, right? So you just have to look at the number of listings you want posted and do the math and identify which store allows you to do that for the cheapest amount. If that makes sense?
Yep, it definitely does.
eBay store subscriptions. And so if you have 100 items, then normally I believe that would mean you would want a basic store. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so it starts out at 30 cents per item. But again, you're going to get some promotions from eBay that give you like between 50 and 100 free listings. That happens sometimes, not all the time. And this often confuses people because they're used to not paying for listings, and then they get past the promotion, and then suddenly they have to pay for listings again, right? So one thing I can see right now is that having a store does decrease your final value fees. Not by much, but if you have no store, then you're paying 10% on your final value fees, whereas if you have a store, you'll pay 9.15%. And then 4% on like certain categories.
Okay.
Yeah, you would want probably a basic. So a basic store costs $25 a month, or $22 a month. Oh no, that's with the annual subscription. Yeah.
So if I pay for an annual subscription, it comes up to 22.
Yeah, yeah. So the way the annual subscriptions work, just so you know, you always pay your store fees monthly. You never pay for a whole year. But if you are committed to an annual subscription, then it's a contract. So if you don't pay for the store, if you try and downgrade your store, you'll have to pay like 10% of the remaining payments left for that yearly commitment. But you can continuously upgrade your store and it doesn't matter. Like you can commit to a year of basic and then upgrade that to a premium store and you don't violate your contract or anything.
Okay.
And then the only other thing to keep in mind with stores is that, okay, with eBay fees, you're paying, so this month you had sales history. Let's say your billing date is on the 1st. That means that on the 1st you get a bill for everything that you did last month, right? And then you have 30 days to pay that. However, with store fees, you pay what you did last month and the future month on your first month. So you make 2 store payments when you first commit to a store. And this doesn't really matter with a $20 store, but if you have a $3,000 store, it matters a lot.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I have a question to you as far as ranking.
Uh-huh.
Like ranking your items on eBay. I do Amazon, so I have somebody who mentored me, and you know, I like I said, I took a course. So
yeah.
He spoke to me about how to get ranked on Amazon. You know what? And he was talking about giving away free items. Does that apply to eBay, or do you have any knowledge as far as getting your item ranked higher?
Yeah, every time there's a lot of things that can happen to your listing that push it higher up in search results. the thing that pushes your listing higher up in search results more than anything else is every time the item sells once, it goes up in search results. So what some people will do is they'll have a listing and price it at like a break-even point. So it's effectively like they're not giving it away for free, but they're not earning anything by selling the item, right? So they do that a couple times to build that kind of history, get like 4 or 5 sales of the item, and then they increase the price so that they are actually getting some profit when the item sells. But because the item has already had those sales, those previous sales, it sold 4 or 5 times, it's higher up in search results, and they're more likely to get a sale at that rate than they would have been if they had just posted it at that profitable rate in the very beginning.
Okay. And that pertains to that particular item, right? Post.
Yes.
Post and title. Okay.
Yeah.
So you would have to it's important to know the particular item you're trying to kind of build your listing for.
Yeah, so
it has to be a product that sells a lot.
You can. It depends on the tool you're using as well. Like AutoDS has dynamic pricing, so you can make it so that every time an item sells, its price increases or its price decreases. So you can automate that whole process so that that's how all of your items start. They start at like a break-even rate, they get a sale or two, and then they become like profitably priced. But ultimately, no matter what you post, you're not earning money until it's sold a couple times. That's a strategy that can be used, especially once you automate it. Because if you automate the pricing, that makes it way easier. Because otherwise, you got to do that to every individual listing, and that can be really time-consuming.
It sounds like a good strategy. That sounds kind of like something I would do. Mm-hmm. Sounds more like a long-term, I know.
Yeah, that's what a lot of snipers do.
Okay. What about you yourself? You still do your main focus is bulk, right?
Yeah.
I know you mentioned it.
I know
you mentioned. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm in a commitment to the enterprise store, so I have to maintain 100,000 items a month. So there's I'm still not at a point where I've ran out of things that I need to improve in the bulk business. There are so many things that I'm continuously doing and changing. And that's one thing that makes it kind of tricky when people ask oh, how much do you earn from this? There has never been a month where I haven't changed something big about the way that I do drop shipping on eBay, and it's continuously evolving, right? So with the bulk store the way that it is right now, it's roughly 100,000 items, all of which are between $10 and $35 on Walmart. This was because I really wanted to emphasize multi-quantity sales, because if the store, my account's huge, right? So all of the items are set to a default quantity of 10. And the second somebody buys 2 of an item, it just becomes way more profitable because all of my items include a $6 shipping fee factored into their price. So when you purchase 2 of something, immediately that $6 shipping fee is gone. And you're talking about $6 of profit, additional profit off of like a $25 sale, which exponentially changes the percentage margin, right? So at the moment, that's where most of the profit comes from. It's not the individual recurring sales, it's the multi-quantity sales and sales that are sourced from Amazon. However, I am currently not taking advantage of the size of the account, and I now understand that I can have both worlds. Before, I thought that I could only get these profitable multi-quantity sales if I sold items that weren't eligible for free shipping, right? Because if it's $40, then shipping is free, so that you don't have that additional profit when there's a second quantity. It's still that set margin, right? But what I learned is that I can just hardwire my pricing so that all of my items have a fake $6 shipping fee that I won't end up having to pay, and it still makes the multi-quantity sales more profitable. So what I'm now doing is I have this baseline of these cheap items with the bulk store, but really I should just pretty much post everything that Walmart sells, minus the problematic and Vero items. That should be ideal, especially because now I understand most of the profit comes from these really big sales where, like, even if you don't earn anything and it's $1,000, if you get 5% of that, that's $50. Like, that adds up a lot, you know? So my focus at this particular moment is bringing much more expensive items into my store and trying to get, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm getting rid of that minimum cost of items in my store, and that's going to be the same base of items, that 100,000 cheap items, but then I'm trying to add another like 100,000 items that are more expensive. So that's what's currently going on.
That's pretty cool. Won't that limit your amount? That would limit your amount of listing though once you go in more expensive products.
Yeah, but this account, it's, let me look at the limit real quick. So I haven't requested a limit increase on this account in over a year. It got big enough that it didn't matter anymore. Yeah, so I can post $180 million, which is just hard to, like...
$180 million?
Yeah. It's hard. I can't even, like... Even with 100,000 items and 10 quantity on all of those items, that's still only $30 million in posted items, which is like or like a fifth, like 20% of the whole limit, right? So again, this is what I'm talking about, is that there's a lot that I'm not currently doing to take advantage of the sheer size of this account, and I'm learning how to, and I'm thinking about that and incorporating all of these things into changes in how the account works.
You're at a very good place right now. Wow. Dangerous, but good.
Yeah. And it ultimately, even if something happens to the eBay store, most of my income comes from YouTube and Udemy. And the Udemy course about dropshipping doesn't use any numbers to convince people to listen to me. And it also doesn't tell people like a step-by-step process. It is a general education about different strategies and software and tools related to dropshipping. So that in its nature is more stable because I'm not teaching a specific method that's going to go out of date. It's relevant info regardless, right? So for me, that's very purposeful because I know that if I do lose my eBay account, then I'm okay. I can just get a new account. It sucks because the account's huge, but ultimately, like, it's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I know with YouTube and stuff like that, you're more building your personal brand and stuff. So that's very good. It's important nowadays.
Yeah,
so,
more long term.
Exactly, more long term. So that's very good. It's something I've been told a couple times to look into, but not prepared for something like that yet. I'm more of a numbers guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, you're doing your thing.
Yeah, step by step. Honestly, I'm trying to... It's kind of hard to be confident a lot. It's a little bit overwhelming knowing that there's like 11,000 people in the world who have like expectations and know who I am and that kind of stuff. So I'm trying, right now I'm still learning to like get used to being a YouTuber because I started like 1.5 years ago And I still haven't, like, because for most of the time as a YouTuber, you're just making new content. You're not really like a YouTuber yet. So that didn't happen until I'd say like 7 or 8 months ago. And it takes time to get used to everything, you know? So it's a lot of that.
That's cool. Pretty cool though. Do you still focus daily on your eBay accounts, or are you just kind of scheduling and yourself to do different stuff in different parts of the day or week?
I have one virtual assistant who manages about half of the work on the eBay account. He does all of the message responses. So I'll send messages when something goes wrong, but he handles responding and doing all of that. So the only thing that I do every day is I place orders. And that's something that doesn't take me very much time. It takes between 20 and 40 minutes if I'm focused. And it just gives me something that I have to do every day, which gives me kind of some structure, which is what I'm trying to focus on right now. Because of the way that I post items, I make big lists, and I spend like 2 or 3 days working on those lists, and then I can just use that same list for like up to 90 days. So I don't spend time posting items really. Even if I work for a week straight, then that week straight of work lasts 3 months, you know? So I don't do anything to post items every day. I just have, like, I focus on getting the store to max capacity as soon as possible once the billing period starts. And then I just keep going. Every reiteration period, all listings that didn't sell are taken down and reposted, whereas items that sold are kept live. The virtual assistant goes through and optimizes the titles of those items that sell. So we have this bulk store that's reiterating every period, and then within the bulk store is an optimized store that's slowly growing over time.
That sounds pretty strategic.
It's getting more, considering...
It sounds like there's a lot of structure there.
Yeah, considering a year ago, I would just go to Walmart, search for something, open up 50 tabs, and directly post all of the results. Like, it's very, there's a lot more to it than that now. Like, way more to it, way more filtration. And so that's kind of what it gets into, is like, at the moment, I'm not really earning much at all from, like, it pretty much just pays the bill. It pays the dropshipping bill. And then I earn my money from the YouTube channel, the course, all that kind of stuff. But I'm continuing to do this, and I could just let that overwhelm me, especially with people saying, oh, bulk's stupid, you're crazy, it's never going to work, that kind of thing. But the reality is, like, there's progress. There's constantly more and more things that you can do. The fact that you can post a 100,000 item list and produce sales means that it can be done profitably. It's just a matter of learning how to eliminate the items from that list that weren't going to sell and post more items that are going to sell, right? It's not impossible in any way. It's completely possible. It's just a matter of learning how to do it, right? And staying in the game even when you feel like it's not currently working.
Yeah, building a system pretty much.
Yeah.
You're getting there. You got the it's selling, right? So you got that part down. So seems like you said, just knocking out the bad one.
Yeah, keep trying new things.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. And it's good that you're not it's good you're at that stage where you don't need that income. So.
Yeah.
You think a lot clearer. I'll tell you right now, from my experience, you think a lot clearer when money isn't a necessity.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that's kind of a common misconception. Because, I don't know. On one hand, you need something that incentivizes you. You need something that pushes you. But at the same time, most of the people who have to make it work fail because they can't make correct decisions. Their emotions blind them. They make reckless decisions and they give up. So it's like, on one hand, the argument that you got to grind it out and get through it sounds cool, but in reality, most of the time it doesn't really work.
Yep, you're right. And most of the time people have to go through it to learn it.
Yeah, yeah. That's why you should always focus on education, about getting as much experience and exposure to whatever industry you're trying to get in. If you just have regular conversations with people, ultimately, you know, maybe it'll take a couple of years, but you'll get there.
Yep. Pretty cool. You seem to have all your stuff in order. I mean, you're pretty much in the best phase with the whole eBay thing, but you got all this other stuff going on. So, is there anything else aside from what you're currently doing that you'd be interested in or you thought about doing? You know, I know you're traveling a lot, right?
Yeah.
From state to state, city to city.
Yeah. So. I have stuff in my head, and then I just go after what I'm currently interested in because it's the thing that I can work most efficiently at. And so right now, I'm sort of working on a book, like a little book, because I understand that it's very easy for me to create video content. And what I want to try and do is I'm making a series of like abstract life lessons about kind of the thoughts, the ways of thinking necessary to change your life without having to understand how your life is going to change. Just like what you can do about the way that you think that kind of guarantees that your lifestyle changes and your future changes. And so I'm doing a series of videos about these. And then it's because for me, I do videos every day. It's completely habitual. It's routine, right? So it's very easy for me to talk about this stuff and make these videos. And then once I have like 10 or 12 videos, all I really have to do is then just get transcripts of each video and then view each video as a chapter. And then I have a rough draft for a short book. So that's kind of like something I've been thinking about a lot recently and is something that I'm enjoying. I don't know if I'm going to follow this through all the way to the point where I have some kind of digital book published, because this would just be a Kindle ebook, right? Because you can just replicate it over and over and over again. But at the moment, that's the thing. The other thing is video game stuff. My long-term goal is video game development. And at the moment, I'm not creating video game content, which is a big problem for me. Like, my channel, for me to be happy, I need to be publishing one video per day that's about dropshipping or with another person, just one video that isn't video game related, and also one video game video per day. Because I want to be in a position where in the future when I start making video games, I'm a known game streamer, because that just gives me a huge edge because I have somewhere to market my product, right?
Yep. Yeah, so you don't mention much stuff about the video game lately. I might have seen one or two videos where you spoke a lot about it. Old video.
Yeah.
Old video.
Yeah, and that's something that I like. Because on one hand, there's a big portion of my audience that has absolutely no interest in the video game stuff. But I need to, it's very important for me that I run this YouTube channel in a way that I'm going to be able to make videos for the rest of my life. And like, I don't want to be one of those channels that just does videos about dropshipping and then just has the thumbnails and big numbers, and then I have guests of just people who are like, it's just so limiting. And like, I want to be able to just make videos about what I love, no matter what that is, right? So that's kind of my goal with YouTube, is to always keep that in mind and to focus on making content about what I have emotional attachment to, because ultimately that's what creates interesting content. Because if I'm not excited and enthusiastic and passionate, then what the fuck's the point? Like, you know, it doesn't. Yeah. That's the whole reason that people interact with videos usually.
Yeah.
So
you end up quitting. You end up stop doing.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
don't like to do. Wow, that's good though.
I'm trying to.
I'm pretty sure you get a lot of the same questions every day, right? 'Cause I know you get a large review, and then just drop ship.
Yeah.
Do they get frustrated getting the same questions over and over again? I can guarantee you get the same questions over and over again.
Yeah.
Even if you have the information out there already.
I don't really get frustrated by the questions. I get frustrated when people like. Facebook is not a personal thing for me. I cannot talk to people through message on Facebook unless like we're trying to set something up or there's a specific purpose. I just cannot spend the time going back and forth doing that. And people will like send me a message and then get frustrated that like I'll be like, hey, what's up? I'll respond once. And then if they don't respond in a way that allows me to quickly identify what I can do to help, I'm not going to respond anymore. Because I can't just, like you're saying, answer the same basic things. And it'd be one thing if the answer to the question would really help them, but most of the time it is silly things like they have some kind of doubt about a Walmart box showing up. And they don't even want to try drop shipping because they think that.